Bacula Enterprise to the rescue.
This video shows how to install Bacula File Daemon or Agent on Windows. The process is the same on all Windows machines and systems. We will use BWeb to do so, as well as the Windows installer and the Windows registration tool that is offered with the pack. We will also install Bacula's MSSQL VDI plugin, just so that you can get to see how easy it is to install a plugin. We're going to start by first using BWeb. You go to the main page of BWeb, where you can see information on things like backup jobs or restore jobs that have run statistics and other information. To add a new client, we go to Configure Bacula. Here you can see the Add a New Client resource that can always be accessed here from the work set. We're going to give a name to the client resource. In this case, it is an MSSQL server based in Boston, and its number is 0045. You can also give a description to it. Here's an example. The next stage is to select the client communication type. I am going to select Standard Encrypted Communication between the daemons so the data flows with full encryption. Then we specify where the director connects to the client. The password is in clear text in this example, but you can hide it. The address of this server is 10.0.123. What's important to remember here is that we always connect on port 9102. That is our default value for the file daemon port that we have to open on the Windows server. It is possible to change it, but it's better to keep it as this. Next, we deploy the file daemon resource and go ahead and apply the change before deploying. We want to deploy this through the registration wizard. We want this to be valid for about 30 minutes because the end user needs to be able to install the Windows file daemon. You could even put 120 minutes in, for example. Click on Next, and here we have the details of how to scan for Android if you have installed the file daemon on Android, or the URL to copy and paste it into the registration wizard. Let's copy it. And then let's move now to our Windows server. Here we can use Notepad in order to just copy and paste the URL we just took. We will install the Bacula Enterprise Windows 64 file daemon by double-clicking this installer. It is version 12.8.1. We're going to use all the default values. We will not change anything. Most important is that the registration wizard is ticked here. We can keep all the other default settings. Here we don't need to enter any information as the registration wizard will take care of everything. So now we install everything. Once installed, we launch the registration wizard. We can register to either bCloud, a tool dedicated to MSP businesses, or BWeb. We are using BWeb here, of course, so we copy and paste the registration link, which is valid for 2 hours, and we register it. Now the registration is complete. Do we want to restart the Bacula file daemon now? Yes, we do, and that's done. You need to enable an inbound rule for a Windows firewall or any other firewall you have installed on your server. Please open the 9102 inbound rule for the firewall. You just specify the port. It is a TCP 9102. You of course allow the connection for everything with your name too, and it's all done. Now let's check if the registration has been successful. We check that the director and the storage daemon can communicate with the client. So we check the status of this client. To do so, we go to MSSQL Boston, we enable it, and we click Status. Here we see that it can connect. We see the version of the file daemon, it is the right one. We see that we have no jobs that have run on this client yet, so it shows 0 here. We have no statistics showing yet. So now let's go back to the client and install a plugin. So let's close this because it is registered now, and let's install the MSSQL VDI plugin, which allows us, of course, to back up an MSSQL database. And again, I'm just keeping all the default values for the server. If I click Finish, it's all good. Now I need to restart the file daemon in order to load the plugin here. So I go to Bacula FD and click on Restart. Then if we go back to BWeb, we click on Relink for this FD, and we see that now, here, we have the MSSQL file daemon plugin, which is the VDI plugin. And that concludes this demonstration. Thanks for watching. We hope you found this helpful.